Hello everybody out there and welcome back once again to the Brawl for All Pro Wrestling Show. We are on episode 23 this time, and I'm just going to call it right now. That's Michael Jordan to everybody. MJ, because Jeff said Barry Sanders on episode 20, so I had to say Michael Jordan. Favorite player all time, basketball-wise. I don't know many people who isn't, but anyway, joined here today by Jeff Crow and Jason Williamson. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
It's going good. Two of my regularity co-hosts here with me today. Steven actually is going to jump on next week. Steven Lane's going to jump on our show next week for our Extreme Rules result, recap, whatever you want to call it. And also next week we'll be having a special guest, C-Dub from Chronocord Pro Wrestling, which we met here over YouTube through videos. He'll be getting on here to give some of his wrestling knowledge. He does music and some other stuff too, so go check out Chronocord Pro Wrestling, their channel. And can't wait to get C-Dub on here next week, so looking forward to that. If you guys got nothing to say, we can get into Raw this week. I think we're going to have a little bit of a lengthy show this week due to Extreme Rules predictions and quite a bit of news to get to too, but let's run through Raw first like always. How about it, guys?
Go.
This week's Raw, I thought was pretty decent overall. What do you guys think? I mean, for the weeks past and going into the Extreme Rules as the go-home show, I thought they did a pretty good job. Like I said last week, they were going to have to do something to get me interested in the cage match, and I think they accomplished that, giving the cage match a meaning. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
What'd you think of Raw this week, overall?
I thought it was good. I mean...
better than the weeks prior.
Right.
What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, it was worth watching.
It was a lot better worth watching than the last couple weeks, especially that London Raw that we had to sit through last week.
It kept you interested in this.
Definitely did. Like I said, like you said, you about fell asleep during the Raw before, but this one we were up and right at it, so. And just waiting to see what was going to happen next. So I think that's good to show that, you know, there's some urgency to watch what's going to happen because they haven't had that for a while. So, and it seemed a lot more loose out there, like guys were going out saying what they wanted to say, and it seemed a little more edgy than usual. You guys get that?
Yeah, I had the last two kind of seemed like that.
Did you get that, Jason?
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff they were saying and some of the spots were a little more edgier, I thought, than usual. Anyway, Orton kicked off the show inside the steel cage because, you know, him and Rollins are going to have the steel cage match coming up. He cut a promo pretty much hyping up the match. He actually called Rollins a dumb bitch, I thought was funny. He also said that he was going to break his jaw and stick a boot so far in his gut and maybe even break a rib or two. And he also made a comment about taking Rollins by his stupid blonde streak and running him around the cage and over again running his head around the cage. And I thought it was funny how he was berating Rollins. And then Rollins came out and he was talking about how, you know, the RKO was banned and that he was pretty much the man and everything. And Orton said that he was going to RKO everyone inevitably tonight until he got to Rollins himself after he got sick of hearing what he had to say. So what'd you guys have to think about that opening segment? I thought it was cool to kick off the night knowing that Orton was going to RKO everyone that he came across until he got to Rollins. I was like, yeah, that's going to be an interesting night.
Yeah, I mean, Orton he cut a good promo. He was getting to the point, getting the match hyped up, trying to get people more involved in it.
And he did seem like he was more off the cusp tonight than he usually is with saying some of the stuff like calling him a dumb bitch and everything. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, like we said, it was kind of like the Attitude Era, Stone Cold style stuff.
I think they're letting him go out there and be a lot looser on the mic lately.
Yeah.
Because as we said, Orton with scripted promos just don't work.
No.
You can just totally tell. And these didn't seem scripted, especially when he said like the stupid. He's like, scratch that, the stupid blonde streak. I thought it was great. So I thought that was a good little opening segment for Raw. I mean, I am getting sick of the 20-30 minute opening promos though. Will they ever kick it off with a match? Who knows? You know, even when Cena kicked it off in London, he came out and cut like a 15-minute promo before the match started. So
yeah,
I really wish they'd get to the action quicker.
Yeah.
I think it turns a lot of people off, you know, whenever they turn it on and they're talking for the first 20-30 minutes, and they're like, oh, let's watch something else. So
too long, yeah. I mean, about 10 or 15 minutes to get it going.
I just don't think every show needs to have a promo to kick it off. That's just my opinion. Anyway, you guys got anything else to say on that?
Nah.
Okay, well, the next segment we had was Ambrose coming. I didn't really understand this, if this was a match or what. I don't know, did you guys get this? But Ambrose came running out there like he was going to have a match. And then Harper's music hit like he was coming out to wrestle him, and he cut a promo claiming he doesn't know why Ambrose isn't afraid of him, but tonight he will be. And then they ended up just brawling all around through the crowd, back up to the ring, and then up the ramp, and then Harper tossed Ambrose off the stage, and Harper took off, like ran off scared, so it ended in a no contest. So this was actually a match, but I didn't really get it. They are going to have a Chicago street fight at Extreme Rules, so I did find out. Anything on this segment besides just keeping the feud going?
It was just strange the way they had it.
Yeah, I think I asked you about 4 times, like, did they have a match?
I don't know. I was like, well, I don't know. Thought they did, but then I never heard the bell ring, so.
Right.
I think it's mainly just the build up for their street fight. I mean, we kind of figured there was going to be a match, but we just didn't know what stipulation was going to be.
Yeah, and they didn't really announce it till like after the Raw went off the air. Really, I didn't hear them say like these guys are going to have a street fight or anything. It was just kind of weird. It was like, was this a match or? I didn't even know it was a match. I really didn't. And it did end in a no contest though because it was just one big brawl, and I didn't really get it, but we can move on from that if you guys don't have anything else to say.
No.
Moving right along, backstage we had the Primetime Players diss on J&J. And Jeff, what did we say about the Primetime Players? Well, Jason, I don't know what you think, but we're thinking maybe make the Primetime Players, you got to bring Orlando Jordan in and make him Rico, and they could be the new Billy and Chuck, but only the black Billy and Chuck.
Yeah, that's...
And we can call him what?
Orlando Jordan.
And what are we gonna call him? Titus Young or Darren Titus?
Young Titus.
Young Titus. And Orlando as the Black Rico. By the way, it's Orlando Jordan's your favorite wrestler, Orlando Jordan's birthday today, Jeff.
Wow.
Yeah, he turned 40.
Coincidence that we.
Yeah, I know. What a coincidence that we thought of that. He turns 41 today.
Oh, he's still got it. Yeah, he's got a few more years.
For 41, he's pretty good shape, man. I didn't know he was that old.
No, I didn't either. All since I seen him, really.
Happy birthday, Orlando. I got a few other people on the birthday list we'll talk about here in a little bit. But, yeah, that was funny. I do think they could be the Black Billy and Chuck. So, WWE, take my word for it. Black Billy and Chuck, we don't know. They could be monogamous, like you don't know. Or isn't that, what do you call them? Ambiguous is the word I'm looking for.
Like the ambiguous.
Hey, it would work better. It'd work better than the gimmick they got now, which is pretty much nothing. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, the whole thing was Rollins running into Triple H. Triple H said it seemed like they were looking for an RKO around every corner, kind of dissing him. So I thought that was funny. Rollins wondered if he talked to Kane. Triple H said he hadn't because he'd been busy. Rollins said he can't be distracted by Kane and Orton at the same time. Triple H said that he would talk to Kane when he gets there. And then Rollins said, what about Orton? And he said he needed more security. And Triple H said it was just one guy and walked off. So anything on that? Just a little backstage segment to set up the rest of the night. But it does seem like a little bit of... I don't know, what would you call it? Yeah, and a little bit of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. A little unrest in the authority.
Yeah, like friction.
Yeah, there's some friction. That's the word I'm looking for in the authority. So, what do you think, Jason?
Yeah, there's some friction going on. I see it here in a few months. They'll just be disbanded.
I see it being disbanded too, but definitely sensing some friction in that. Especially saying it was just one guy and walking off. It was just... It's not a normal Triple H move, in my opinion. Not lately. Unless they're just trying to set this whole thing up for the cage match. So moving on from the segment, they had the New Day and the Lucha Dragons. Actually, I didn't know this, but this was for the #1 contendership at Extreme Rules for the titles.
Oh, wow.
New Day actually got the win. Xavier actually grabbed Sin Cara's legs and helped get the Lucha Dragons counted out. So they won by count out. Orton actually came out and RKO'd Kofi and Xavier out of nowhere, which I thought was the highlight of this match. But New Day do get the title shot against Cesaro. And I don't know if you guys heard, but Lucha Dragons were penciled in to have the match against Cesaro, which is Tyson Kidd and Cesaro at Extreme Rules. But now they are like in limbo on whether to have Cesaro heel or face. And so they're putting him against the New Day, I guess, so they don't have a straight face team going against them. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So the New Day with the title shot, and it will be Biggie and Kofi wrestling. And does Woods even wrestle anymore?
I don't think so.
I mean, because they did even announce that he would not be wrestling. It would be the other two. So
I think they know what to do with him, really.
New Day still sucks. So,
Yeah.
anything you have to say on that, Jace?
It'd be a pretty easy win for Cesaro.
Yeah, didn't you say you thought Lucha Dragon should get that title shot?
Yeah, they should have, but I mean, since they're...
Can you see where they're going though with the face heel? They don't know whether what side to make them. Like I guess they want to make them heel, but then the face reaction they're getting, they just don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
So having the champions, and I guess they didn't want to throw them against the Lucha Dragons and have the Lucha Dragons seem like the heel in the match, you know.
Yeah.
So it looks like Lucha's they're gonna get a shot.
Bautista.
They want to bring them up, and within a month or month and a half, they've been on Raw, and they're already getting a title shot and all that. So.
Yeah, they haven't been on there long anyway, so.
Oh, they keep Kalisto from botching moves.
Yeah, botch Kalisto.
Botch Kalisto.
Kalisto did botch a few moves, and yes, he is notorious for botching moves, so watch out for him. And we have came up with the name Botch Kalisto for him. Jason, did you know he had a botch last night on Biggie? I don't know whose fault it was, but seemed like he had a botch.
It was kind of both of those.
He was doing good there for a few matches. But in NXT, he did botch. Go back and look. He does botch a lot. So it's just his style.
He goes for a lot of high-risk moves.
Yeah, it's that style that, not a lot of people are used to. So, in his defense. But he's botch Kalisto. Anyway, I do like Kalisto and think he's got potential.
Sabu botched a lot of moves.
Oh, Sabu botched. but his things he was trying were so outrageous that they were forgivable botches.
Yeah.
Going on from that, they announced that Cena would issue another open challenge and talked about the Rusev Cena build-up, which was no big deal. Then they had Fandango come out to his original song to face Curtis Axel. He won via leg drop, which was funny because they started playing his second theme when he won, and then they went ahead and switched it over to his old original Fandango music, so they botched the entrance theme. It was funny. I don't know. Did you see it, Jason?
No, I didn't.
He had that like salsa theme for a while there when he was with Rosa.
Yeah.
Well, they started playing that when he won, and then we and Jeff were like, "Wait a minute, that's not." And then they went ahead and switched it over to the original Fandango song. Like they messed up on what song to play. It was kind of. I never heard any reports on it, but in my opinion, that was not on purpose. I mean, I think they messed that up. Somebody did. So that's really the only note I have on that. It was funny. Anything else to say on I just don't see Fandango, or Axel lasting very long.
I don't know. They're both good. I mean, they're both they're both talented as hell.
If Fandango can get another gimmick, he could be really good.
Yeah, and they didn't even show Axel's entrance, so.
Axelmania, baby.
Yeah,
get it right. It's Axelmania.
Said Hogan probably didn't want the pop showing on TV for Axelmania.
Gimmick infringement.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Going on to that, we had Triple H come out without Stephanie, so Stephanie still has not returned. And he said after the greatest WrestleMania in history, Seth Rollins is the man that will lead WWE in the next 10 years. And he announced that June 23rd on Raw, they will begin the Tough Enough Season 6. Sorry to tell you, Jason, but I think it's 18 to 25, man. I don't think you're getting in that Tough Enough. Anyway, he talked the hype on Tough Enough and talked sending video submissions to www.wwetoughnenough.com if anybody wants to submit a video 18 to 25 for Tough Enough. If you do after you heard this show, definitely let us know that this is where you found out. Anyway.
I'll just be making the cut.
Yeah.
I'd start 20.
They're going to take one man and one woman, he says. So that's interesting because some of these Tough Enoughs, they really hadn't. It was like 2 women one season and 2 men one season. So that's interesting. And they will receive contracts making them WWE superstars. And he hyped it a little more. And then all of a sudden, here comes Kane to ruin the whole thing. Kane says it's been an honor being the director of operations, but he's going to have to give him his 2-week notice this week because Triple H is putting faith into Rollins. And Triple H says he wants to go back and talk like they always do backstage and straighten things out. Then Rollins came out and says they didn't need a loser like Kane and let Kane quit. Kane reminded him when he chokeslammed him last week, and Rollins talked about him doing the job like he was supposed to do last week. And then Kane calls him spoiled, practically, and a punk. And he's only champion because of the Authority, and says they could have even made El Torito champion if they wanted to, which I thought was funny. Triple H says that that isn't how they do business. Kane did what was best for business like always, and no one's been more loyal to the authority than Kane. And Kane has been made the guardian of the gate at Extreme Rules for the cage match now. Kane thanked Triple H. Rollins said that he can't be serious about making him the guardian, and Triple H says that he has to do what he said, and that Rollins needs to get on the same page as Kane really fast. And then he had him shake hands, and that was the end of that. So they made Kane the guardian of the cage in a long drawn out promo for Triple H. Like, he loves these long drawn out promos. He had to come out there and do a 15-minute tough enough plug. You knew that. And then making the Rollins and Kane feud go on a little longer. I mean, did we really need to see Kane out there again that long? I don't know, but I
don't know what their plans are.
Any words on that little deal, Jason? What do you think of Tough Enough and everything like that?
It's good bringing Tough Enough back. I mean, you get some of these guys that want to know how to get into business and all that, and it shows how much you actually go through to get into the business.
Yeah, I do like the Tough Enough, so I am glad they're bringing it back. What'd you think of the way they're using this Kane and Rollins storyline? It looks like more friction within the authority after that.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see probably like the next pay-per-view or something, they'll have a match.
I think at Extreme Rules we're going to find out what's going on there.
Yeah.
In my opinion. They did have them shake hands and everything at the end. So anything else on that, Jeff?
No, just Tough Enough. I think there may be a few ex-UFC fighters that are going to be on there too.
Oh yeah, where'd you hear that at?
I read it somewhere. I don't know if Matt Riddle's going to be on there. I know he's been training with him. I don't know if he's going to actually be on Tough Enough or he's actually got a contract yet.
Riddle'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah, then I heard Phil Baroni as well. I don't know.
I'd like to see Baroni in there. We reported on that.
He's getting older, but he's still always, in good shape.
Right. So anything else? I just always enjoy Tough Enough. I know Steven out there does too. So
yeah.
Next after that, they showed Naomi pretty much healing it up backstage on Page, and then they showed Naomi walking out towards the entrance ramp. And then they went backstage again to Rollins and Kane arguing. Triple H says Kane is corporate now and he's not Hellfire and Brimstone anymore. And Kane said, oh yes he is. And he was going to show Triple H that later tonight that he was. Triple H says he's going to face Dolph Ziggler like he was supposed to 2 weeks ago, he told Rollins. So we got that match. And then Triple H says he better start proving what he already knows, that he's the man. And Rollins says he's going to destroy Dolph and show that he's no longer the future, but he's the man. So it's all about Rollins being the man now. I could take or leave that backstage segment. It just seemed like a time filler. More friction between Kane and Rollins. I mean, right after we just seen a big old thing on it. So
yeah, they're just trying to add more to the storyline.
Right. So going on from that, they had Naomi take on Brie Bella with Nikki, and Nikki actually got on commentary. Naomi won at rear view. Actually, I heard that they tested out the Bellas as faces at one of the live events lately, and in case they end up replacing Naomi with Paige, and I heard that they actually did announce that Naomi will be taking the place of Paige at Extreme Rules and taking on Nikki for the belt. So, any comments on that, guys? What do you give Naomi? You give Naomi any chance at winning the belt? I mean,
I actually do. I think she has a good chance winning it. Actually,
I think she may take it at the Extreme Rules. I think I'm going to go with her because Nikki and Brie, they're about ready to take a break anyway, and they've had that little rumor going around about Nikki and Brie possibly working with Daniel Bryan and John Cena on TV. So
yeah,
who knows what's going to happen there? Jason, anything on the women's part?
Yeah, I mean, if they want to do the face heel turn, I mean, that'd be the way to do it Sunday. Just have Nikki lose the belt and they can do the face turn there.
I think Naomi'd make a pretty good women's champion, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I think she'll probably do pretty good as heel.
Oh, yeah, I think she could have a good heel run as the champion.
Like we've been saying, she's pretty talented, actually.
Oh, she really is.
Wrestle.
Yeah, she's really good in the ring, I mean.
Yeah, if they do a heel turn on her, they need to change her music.
So what do you guys think's going to happen with the Usos? Our friend C-Dub from Kona. Did you see, Jeff? Did you ever watch C-Dub's opinion on Usos?
No, I didn't see it yet.
I told you a little bit about what he was saying, though. Yeah, that they possibly may make Jimmy a heel on his own, and that may be why they're turning Naomi heel right now, and that another option is they could possibly bring in somebody else to be a tag team partner, and like we were saying, and he was saying, Joe Uso, Samoa Joe, sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd take that.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything about that, Jason?
No, I sure didn't.
What do you think about maybe bringing Samoa Joe in to be Jimmy's partner while Jay's out?
Oh, it may work.
Calling him Joe Uso, it does got a ring to it. They're not going to be able to call him Samoa Joe.
I mean, he looks like the rest of them, so you might as well.
Yeah, I mean, he could play off that family like he's cousins or something like that, because he's not actually related to the Inoue family, so.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, though, but that's a little shout to Chronocord. I mean, I did listen to that video, and that was interesting. I liked it, so everybody go check that out.
That was a good view. That's cool.
That is a cool view, and I can't wait to get him on here next week, so. It's always good to have different views and come on from, different places and stuff, because we're all basically in Illinois here, so getting somebody from out of state even, is cool. They showed the catering section where Heath Slater was telling Eric Rowan that he's going to accept the U.S. title open, and then he asked him what he thought of that dressing that was on the salad that he was eating. And when he got up, because Rowan got up and walked off, and Slater was kind of checking him out, not paying attention, and Orton came out of nowhere and hit an RKO on him through the catering table. And then he picked the chip up and took a bite out of it and counted on his fingers 3 times and said, "That's 3 down." I thought it was a good promo. I put it on the page, the clip on the page. It was pretty good. Jason, did you see it?
Yeah, I seen it. I thought it was pretty funny.
That was funny for Orton. That showed Orton can be kind of funny, really, without even trying.
Remind me of Stone Cold backstage.
What's Heath Slater still doing there anyway?
Jobbing.
I mean, huh?
He's a one-man.
Do you like Heath Slater? Do either of you guys see any potential in Heath Slater? I mean,
the one-man band.
He's the one-man job band now. I mean, jeez. I just don't see anything in Heath Slater. I could see him getting released, too. So,
yeah.
Because these releases are coming soon. Sooner or later, they're going to have a bunch of releases, I bet.
Oh, yeah, because they'll be bringing new guys in.
They always do after WrestleMania at some point, seems like.
Yeah, bringing a lot of developmental guys up for private contracts.
I really don't see what they're going to do with Eric Rowan. I mean, I really don't.
They could use it. I mean,
give him a different gimmick.
For his size.
They'd have to give him a different gimmick or something. Make him like a Viking or something. I guess he looks more like than anything.
Yeah.
Some kind of berserker or something.
I think they'll change it up eventually.
He needs a berserker gimmick. like an update. Him and Sheamus could be a good tag.
Yeah.
Big redhead white dudes. Never thought of that. They should put him with Sheamus.
Big Red.
Big Red. They don't even call him that no more.
No.
Okay, after this, we had the Reigns segment. He came out and pretty much said that he don't feel like talking, but he feels like fighting, and he said Big Show better get his ass out there. Bo Dallas came out and he quoted Yoda and talked about suffering last week and suffering at Mania for Reigns, and then he called Roman kind of a bust. He said he was the Tim Tebow of WWE. I thought that was funny. He said he gets chance after chance and fails every time, but says he knows if he works hard enough and he can become WWE champ, but all he has to do is believe. So Reigns ended up hitting him with a Superman punch, then a spear, and then he grabbed the mic and said if Show had any guts that he'd be out there, and says that all he has to do is show up at Extreme Rules and he'll win the last man standing match that they're going to have, and he says you can believe that, looking down at Bo Dallas. So, and as you noted, Jeff, he still has a mixed reaction with the crowd, but he has been cutting some better promos lately. That was kind of a crappy promo, really. I mean, he just played off of Bo. It was easy. But what do you think of Bo Dallas? I mean, what's he really bringing to the table? Just comedy? I mean, I don't know. He's comedy. I don't even really see him wrestle much anymore.
Maybe they take Santino's place as just being like...
I don't know. He comes out during Sting's thing. Now he comes out during Reigns' thing. Jason, any thoughts on Reigns or Bo?
Yeah, I mean, Reigns is here lately. He has been getting better promos. So whoever's been writing his promos is doing a little bit better. Or they switched writers.
I agree.
But with Bo Dallas, I mean, he just came back from injury, so...
Yeah, but they haven't done nothing with him since. Just pretty much made him a joke getting jobbed out. Not jobbed out, but laid out. every time he comes out. Has he had any Superstars matches or main event? Or I don't really watch those shows, so.
He did before he got injured. He had some on there, but.
Jeez, I just don't see. They got to do something with Bo, in my opinion. Change that gimmick or something.
Yeah,
maybe after a couple more ass kickings, he can claim Bo leaving just isn't working and get a little bit of an edge or something. I say put him with his brother, but I don't see him doing it. Which is brother's Bray Wyatt, if anybody doesn't know. So, in real life, IRS is their dad. Mike Rotunda. Pay your taxes, you tax cheat.
Taxes.
Okay, well, going on from that, we had the Sheamus versus Ryder deal, where he hit Ryder right off the bat with a bro kick while he was holding the mic in his hand. And he just continued pretty much to beat him down while he had the mic in his hand and dissed him the whole time. He kind of talked about some of the smaller guys like Daniel Bryan and stuff and how they wouldn't last 2 seconds in the ring with him. He just kept beating on Ryder. He said he could have pinned him, but he didn't. He said Bryan and Ryder don't belong in his ring, so he said, you know what, I'm just going to toss Ryder out of the ring now. So he did. He said WWE should be made of real men like him, real superstars, and he said so much for New York's hero as he was beating down on Ryder. And he said, are you not entertained? And like you said, Jeff, what is he, the Gladiator?
Yeah.
He said he was going to finish off Ryder, and he went for the brogue kick, but Ziggler came running out there out of nowhere and hit a zigzag on Sheamus. And then Sheamus scurried off out of the ring as Ziggler yelled to come on back in the ring, and Sheamus gets the win by DQ. What'd you think of this whole deal? I mean, kind of ridiculous. A little bit of a time killer having him just beat him around with the mic, and they can't make Ryder look any worse. I mean, sheesh.
No.
What's going on with... It was just Jobber City tonight. Ryder out there, I mean...
It was.
I mean, it was just pretty much a plummel to hype the match. But now they're claiming, like, maybe Bryan won't even be able to compete at Extreme Rules. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, he's not doing real
Yeah,
good.
WWE actually posted that he's undergoing diagnostic testing to see if he can compete at Extreme Rules. So we've got to note that the match is on for right now, but it may not be on by the time Extreme Rules comes around Sunday. So what do you think about that Gladiator deal that he's doing? Are you not entertained?
Yeah,
Oh, he even mentioned something about, you know, you say I look stupid, but the only people that look stupid are you guys or something like that. They just had him hilling out big time, just making him more of a hill than he already is.
Yeah, he's just getting as much heat on him as they can.
He's trying to get more heat because I think he's not getting enough heat. To some
They want to make sure he does instead of...
I thought it was an enjoyable, funny little segment, though, I thought, really. And then Ziggler getting the best of him finally shows him kind of like he's not unstoppable or anything yet. So Ziggler needs to be pushed up there, though. He gets such a good crowd reaction and stuff. So I don't know. I think they need to do more with Ziggler. I think he would have benefited off of getting that IC title over Bryan. And actually, I can see Ziggler taking Bryan's place at the pay-per-view. Well, no, wait a minute. Bryan was set to face Barrett, so it was Ziggler and Sheamus. So, yeah, Bryan might not face Barrett, so I was mistaken there. So, I guess Ziggler couldn't take his place because Ziggler's actually facing Sheamus. So, I had that mixed up. But so, who would replace Bryan, you think, if Barrett doesn't get in there?
R-Truth.
I mean, that's the only guy they really got left. I mean, you got Ambrose already in a match. You got Ziggler in a match. Any word on that, Jason?
Either R-Truth or Vince Dow or whoever you want to call him now.
Yeah. Bad News Barrett already has a match, though.
Yeah.
He's going for the IC. He's the one that's got to face Bryan, so... I mean, I just don't know who you would put in there besides Bryan.
He said Mizdow.
Oh, Mizdow would be a good one. But it's not Mizdow anymore, remember? He lost. We'll get there in a second. But anything to say on Sheamus, Jason? I think Sheamus is doing a good job on a heel run here.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a good heel run. I didn't really care for the match, personally. But I mean,
it was a bit entertaining, but a little bit overboard, in my opinion. It was a time killer segment.
Oh yeah.
Like, not only are you going to go out there and job, but you're going to job while he has a microphone in his hand dissing you the whole time. I mean, Ryder, he's became like the new Brooklyn Brawler or something. I don't know.
Woo, woo, woo.
You know it.
Yeah.
Job, job, job. You know it. That's what a new shirt should say. So anything else to say about those guys?
Barry Horowitz.
He's the new Barry Horowitz. He's almost like he's like the new Rip Rogers, Jason.
Yep.
Just jobbing. No disrespect, Rip Rogers is a hell of a talent, you know. Anyway, to go on from that, Cena had his U.S. title challenge. He came out and talked about the Russian chain match versus Rusev at Extreme Rules. He said Rusev said that he plans to show that WrestleMania was a fluke. He said, though, that the last 10 years that he's proven himself, and says Sunday he's going to drag Rusev from corner to corner and beat him down, and says he'll shove a Russian chain straight up his ass. And then he announces that he will fight tonight, and sent a message to the underdog that he challenges that he's in the fighting mood and not messing around tonight. So, what'd you guys think of that? He said he was going to shove the chain up his ass. Like I said, it wasn't real PG tonight.
No, let him go.
I mean, were we even at the 8 o'clock hour by this point? I don't know. We might have been.
Yeah, I think we're getting close. I know.
Anyway, though, Kane accepted the challenge, of all people. Kane again. And then we had Kane versus Cena for the U.S. title. Cena ended up winning via AA. And then they had that little segment where they shown Kane walking backstage looking all pissed off like he was hurt after that. So, what's your guys' whole deal on that? You think Kane's going to come out helping Orton or being against Orton at the cage match?
I don't know what's the point of having him come out and face Cena and lose. I didn't get that.
I didn't get it either. And it was,
other than maybe so Rollins can make fun of him for losing or something. I don't know.
It was kind of funny because they had Cena like, wow, you wouldn't expect Kane to come out there. What an eye. Any comments on that, Jace?
Well, throughout that match, you seen them flashing back to Rollins and J&J from time to time.
I forgot to mention that. Were they flashing back to Rollins and J&J on that? I didn't pay close enough attention. Were they doing that? I didn't know that.
Like, I think 3 or 4 different times they flashed back.
Were they watching the monitor? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, they were. I remember that now.
Okay, I failed to note that. But sometimes I don't get everything. I try to while I'm taking live notes. But
I think you're writing notes in.
It's almost impossible. So, yeah. That could have been done. I didn't want to see Kane take him on, but whatever. I would have thought that would have been a good spot for Neville. Not seeing Neville tonight, by the way, was a letdown.
Yeah.
And that really would have been a hell of a spot for him right there. Because, I mean, win or lose, he'd be in the ring with Cena, you know?
Yeah, he could have had a hell of a match.
And he just accepted the challenge from Dolph, you know? So why not have him accept Cena's? They had you thinking because he said young underdog, whatever one accepts. I was like, it's going to be Neville, but then it ended up being Kane. It's like, sheesh. So going on from that, you had Renee Young interviewing Miz backstage. Miz dissed Miz down wanting to take his name. He plugged the Marine 4. Then you had Saxon interview Cena, and Cena talked about Kane and how he couldn't believe he came out there and accepted the challenge. He said Sunday the champ, and then boom, out of nowhere, Rusev came and kicked Cena and then got him in the accolade with that chain on his face, which was actually, I noted, kind of brutal, if you ask me. With that chain around his face and got him in the accolade and wouldn't let go. Screaming a bunch of gibberish and Russian and stuff. So, what'd you guys think of that?
That was a pretty good build-up to the match.
I thought that was pretty good build-up too. But I almost see it coming now that I know that they did it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty brutal. That accolade he got him in the chain. Any comments on that, Jace?
Yeah, it was a good build-up. I mean,
They had you thinking you weren't going to see Rusev almost.
Yeah.
I think that was a good spot. I'm looking forward to that match too. I think it's going to be a hell of a match, really.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not going to get. We're probably not going to get any color, but it's going to be a good match.
Cena always does good in gimmick matches, so.
Cena does really good in gimmick matches.
He may bust himself open.
Yeah, hard way. You never know.
Well.
Anyway, they showed this.
Fire him.
Say what?
What are they gonna do? Fire him?
Yeah. What are they gonna? Yeah. Are they gonna fire? That ain't happening. Anyway, they showed the segment from last week from SmackDown with Mizdow slapping the shit out of Miz. And then they had the match with Miz and Mizdow for the Miz likeness. Summer Rae actually helped Miz get the win over Mizdow. Then Miz grabbed the mic and started to say his awesome quote when out of nowhere, Orton hit him with an RKO. So Miz wins the right to the Miz likeness, and he has Summer Rae now. And it makes sense because Summer Rae and Miz are the co-stars in that Marine 4, so getting them together, trying to promote the movie.
Yeah.
It seems like Miz isn't going to take the time off because they were reporting that Miz was going to be wrote off TV, but with him winning now, it seems like he's not going anywhere. And I think it's a good move for Sandow getting to be on his own and trying to find himself now instead of being Damien Mizdow. Like I said, it needed to end. And I hoped it did, and it did.
Yeah.
So, anything to say on that, Jason or Jeff?
No.
I like the RKO out of nowhere, by the way.
Yeah. So you have to listen to Miz.
Yeah. I'm the Miz, and I'm boom, RKO. So,
yeah, with Orton and all these RKOs, this reminds me of like all the YouTube videos that they have with Orton doing the RKO on different things.
All those Vines videos. It was like a live Vine video. Wow, you're right. That's funny. So, on from that, we had the Bray Wyatt promo. He talked money, power, and respect, and talked to whoever is just like him. He says you can lift all the weights in the world, but the weights will drag you down. You can't wait for the moment that he finds out all of his hard work was for nothing, and then he will show him that he's the new face of fear. And immediately, me and Jeff said who? Ryback.
Yep.
We said Ryback or Henry. We wished it would have been like Batista, but we can't get that lucky. But now the rumors are saying that they're going to have a feud with Wyatt and Ryback. So, what do you guys think of that? Go ahead, Jason.
I was going to say, it'll be a decent feud with him and Ryback.
Yeah, I mean, I just wish that, a better guy than Ryback. What do you think?
He's pretty over, though. I mean,
is this really going to boost Wyatt, though, by beating Ryback? I guess it would boost Ryback more than it would Wyatt with a win.
I mean, both. If Wyatt wins it, both of them they have a hell of a match, but I see Wyatt going over him.
I do, too. I don't know. They're really pushing Ryback lately, though.
Yeah, they're pushing them both, but they need to push Wyatt more.
Yeah, speaking of Ryback, they had him defeat Adam Rose via Shell Shock, and then he attacked the Hot Dog and Banana Man. They were dressed up in hot dog and banana suits, and he hit him with a double Shell Shock at the same time. And then he said, what did the banana say to the hot dog? Nothing, because their asses just got shell shocked. So that almost gave you a hint of who he was talking about when they had Ryback come out right after that.
Yeah.
I mean, did you notice that, Jason?
Yeah, I noticed that.
So, any comments on Ryback, Wyatt?
That'll be decent, I think.
What'd you think of that Adam Rose? I think Adam Rose is about shell-shocked out of the WWE.
Another jobber. A bunch of jobbers tonight.
It was a jobber night.
Everybody
had a job before the pay-per-view. Couldn't have any tough matches.
They had to make it easy for him for Sunday.
They really did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Is that what you guys think? It's starting to really seem like that now.
I didn't want anybody to get injured before
the
pay-per-view, too.
That's actually a smart move, I'd say.
Yeah.
Actually, next we had Rollins saying he's sorry to Kane backstage and said he knows he helped him win the Money in the Bank and he appreciates it so much that he's dedicating his match against Ziggler to him. And then he says Kane is the bigger man, literally and figuratively, which I found funny. So, a little thing backstage. And then they showed Orton backstage looking around the corner when Rollins and J&J Security walked off smiling. So, that was a pretty cool looking spot.
Yeah.
Actually, thanks to Jeff for pointing that out. I was noting things down at the time. Well, usually, I try to take my notes live while I'm watching the show because, it saves me a lot of time having to go back and do it again. Right. So I usually go back the next day, like Tuesday morning, and watch it on Hulu again. And I usually get to see everything. I mean, I'll watch the matches, but usually on the talking segments, I note them. So sometimes I miss those little things, but keeps me interested in the show, so... any comments on Orton's thing, Rollins thing? Because after that we had the main event, which was Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins with J&J Security. Rollins won via his new move that they gave him, and we'll talk about that in a second. After interference from Sheamus on Ziggler, which was payback from earlier, I'd say. Rollins said he just did what he said he would and proved that he is the man, and he said at Extreme Rules his RKO won't save him. Triple H cut him off, and Triple H praised Rollins as the winner Sunday night, like he was going to win. And then Rollins takes the mic out of Triple H's hands, which seemed pretty ballsy of Rollins to do, and says he is going to defeat Orton Sunday inside of the cage so he'll make Kane obsolete. And then Kane came out. The cage started closing as everybody ran off and Rollins was stuck inside by himself, but out of nowhere, right behind him popped up Orton, and he started chasing Rollins, and Rollins kind of squirmed off and jumped up trying to climb the cage, and his foot was on the top rope. Well, Orton took his leg and swiped it out from underneath of him and caught him with a hell of an RKO off the top rope as he came down, and it showed Kane laughing on the ramp after it was done, and then it went off air. I thought that was a hell of an ending, really, and one of the coolest RKOs I've ever saw. Just shows you what kind of match these guys could have, but I wish the RKO would be involved. I don't know, somehow I think he's going to still get RKO'd Sunday no matter what.
Yeah, maybe after the match. But yeah, that was a sweet RKO.
But that was the end of the Raw, though. So I thought that was decent, though, with the whole RKO angle, and it kept me somewhat interested through the night, like not like weeks before.
Right.
I did have no Neville suck, though. I really wish Neville would have been on there tonight. I kind of like watching him on Raw lately. So what did you guys think of that ending again, before we go on?
It was good.
You both thought it was a pretty good ending then?
Yeah.
Then I don't remember the match that much, but...
No, I don't either. That ending spot was what it was all about. So,
Yeah.
What do you guys think overall on Raw before we move on to the news and notes then?
It was a good Raw.
It was a good Raw, but like you said, not a lot of great matches and pretty much a lot of job matches and quick stuff. Not trying to get guys hurt or anything like that, in my opinion.
Yep, save it all for Sunday.
Yeah, it should be good Sunday, I think, at Extreme
Plus,
Rules.
they still had SmackDown taping and all that, so...
I look at the card for Extreme Rules, and it seems like they got a pretty good card set up. You guys want to run down news first, or do the predictions first, or what do you want to do?
It doesn't matter.
I think we should run down Extreme Rules predictions real quick, and then do the news and end it like that.
Sounds good to me.
How about that, Jason? Okay.
That sounds good.
All right. Actually, the kickoff match was announced, and I don't know why they're having this as the kickoff match, but Tyson Kidd and Cesaro against New Day for the tag titles, and I've been saying for months now that they don't give the tag titles enough credit. That should be on the main card, but I guess they got to put a match on the pre-show and not leave the women off the card, so they put the tag match on there. So, in my opinion, Cesaro and Kidd are going to retain. You guys got any thoughts on that, and who do you think's going to win?
I'm going to go with New Day.
You're going with New Day, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay. What about that, Jason?
I'd say they retain.
You're gonna say Kidd and Cesaro? Do you guys have any? Do you guys have any opinion on me saying about like them not giving the tag titles enough credit? They always have the tag match on pre-show.
Yeah, and they seemed like they were going to start building the tag team division up there for a little bit, and then they just stopped.
And a lot of times the tag match is the best match on the card.
Yeah, you should have needed Dudley Boys back or something.
I mean, couldn't they have put like, you know, the Sheamus, I don't know, Sheamus Ziggler or Ambrose Harper maybe on the pre-show? I mean, and put the tag titles. I think they deserve the main card, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Their titles, they should be like on the main card.
Any opinion on that, Jace?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would probably put Ziggler and Sheamus on the pre-card and put the tag title.
That's what I would do, too. So, I'm going with Kidd Cesaro, Jason, Kidd Cesaro, and you got New Day, Jeff. Okay,
yeah,
so
I'd be upset.
Next we're going to go Naomi, who's replacing Paige, against Nikki Bella. I'm going to go with Naomi for the title. Who do you guys got?
Naomi.
Okay, that's two Naomis. Jason?
Just for argument's sake, I'll go with Nikki.
Okay, go with it, Nikki, just to be different. Okay, we'll see what happens there. I don't see that being like a 5-star match or anything, but we'll see.
It could be a decent match.
No stipulation, just the belt on the line. And same with the tag match, no stipulation, just the belt. I thought they'd have more stipulations in Extreme Rules, but it seems this year they didn't put as many stipulations. Next, we have Harper and Ambrose in a Chicago street fight. I'm going to go with Ambrose in this one. I think they like him and they want to push him. Who do you guys have?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ambrose, but I almost want to go with Harper. But
I think it'll be a hell of a match and it could steal the show, really. But I'm going with Ambrose.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ambrose, but I wouldn't be surprised if Harper doesn't win.
Jace, you got Ambrose?
Yeah, I'll go with Ambrose.
Okay, on the Sheamus Ziggler Kiss My Arse match, let's get it right. Arse. Who do you think's going to be kissing arse at the end of the night? Ziggler or Sheamus? I'm going to go with Ziggler's going to be kissing ass.
Yeah.
Seems like they want to push Sheamus as a heel, so I don't see him kissing ass. I really don't. Although that would be more of a heel move. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm going with Sheamus.
I'm going to go with Sheamus.
What do you think, Jason? Who's getting their arse kissed? You're going with Ziggler?
I think Ziggler will pull it off.
So you think Sheamus is going to be kissing Ziggler's ass?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if nobody gets their ass kissed at all by the end of it. So
yeah.
Will be funny though, and it's kind of funny in the PG era that they're going to have a match like that, but it's weird. Reigns and Show, last man standing. I'm going with Reigns all the way.
Yeah, Reigns.
Okay, Jason.
Yeah,
who you got?
Reigns.
Okay, all three Reigns. I mean, if you don't go with Reigns there, you're crazy. Next, we have Daniel Bryan, Wade Barrett in a straight-up IC title match, no stipulation. But as I said, this might get scratched or changed because Bryan is getting tested to see if he can even compete. But I'm going to say if Bryan is in the match, I'm going to say Barrett no matter what, because they got to get the belt off Bryan. So, Jeff,
yeah, I say Barrett.
You say Barrett too?
Yeah, I think if something's going on with Bryan, that they'll drop the title.
Yeah, he's got to get the belt off of him, in my opinion. And like I said, Ziggler needs to get that belt, but Wade Barrett's got to get it back, and maybe Ziggler can go in a feud against Barrett. I don't know. Yeah. But I see Sheamus in that talk too, so.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Barrett. You guys? Both Barrett? Okay. Yeah, they got to get it off Bryan, especially with that note. Then we have the two pretty much main events. You got Cena and Rusev in the Russian chain match for the U.S. title. I actually see Rusev taking back the U.S. title in this.
Tough one.
I don't see him jobbing 2 pay-per-views straight. And I see Cena, I see the feud continuing, but Rusev's going to take the title in my opinion.
Yeah, and I don't know what they're going to do after that. They have to have somebody beat Rusev again.
I just see the feud continuing with Cena and Rusev to SummerSlam after Rusev takes it back.
Or they can do something else with Cena. They can do a lot with him. And
who knows? I don't know. They may have Cena retain, but I just don't see him beating him twice in a row. That'll really put Rusev down a notch, and it's a Russian chain match. What do you think, Jason?
I say Cena takes it, and probably at Payback they'll have Rusev.
Okay, so you're saying Rusev's going to get a win, just not this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I see him getting a win and then the rubber match at SummerSlam, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Jeff, who did you say? You said Cena?
I said I'm not sure. I'm probably going to go with Rusev.
Yeah, because I mean, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
It won't. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, they can continue the feud, or they could have somebody else feud with Rusev.
Right, and it's not going to lessen Cena's star power any by losing the belt and getting it back. I mean,
no, but he always does good in those gimmick matches, though. So,
right. So we got 2-1, Rusev. Rollins and Orton, the RKO band, and inside the steel cage, Kane guarding the cage for the WWE title. I see Rollins winning this. Inevitably. I don't think they're going to have Orton take the belt. I do see a continued feud out of it, but I see Rollins retaining. What do you guys say?
Yeah. I want to say Rollins.
Say what, Jason?
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one. What do you think?
I'll go with Rollins.
Yeah, I'm going with Rollins.
But I'll go with Rollins.
Jeff, what are you saying?
I'm going to go with Rollins, but because I don't know, I don't know what they're going to do with the Lesnar coming back eventually.
Right.
I would think they would have the belt on Rollins when they do that, unless Orton wins and then he faces Rollins again before Lesnar comes back.
Right. All three of us going with Rollins then.
Yeah.
Okay, well then that's our predictions for Extreme Rules. Steven actually was supposed to send me some picks, but he never did, so I guess we'll get his thoughts next week when he gets on the recap show. And I'm really glad and looking forward to get Chronocord, C-Dub from Chronocord Pro Wrestling on here to do the recap show with us. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
So, I'm wondering what his predictions will be. I wonder if he'll put some up. So.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, guys, let's get to the news and notes, which are kind of lengthy this week. You guys ready to get into that? And then we'll call it a show?
Yep.
First of all, on the network, new additions, the Giants. I just want to make a note, the Giants on the Beyond the Ring. It's Giants of Wrestling or something it's called, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
I watched that last night, and that was a great one. Jason, I recommend watching it if you can get the network. It's called Giants on Beyond the Ring. It's the first one under the Beyond the Ring section that you can watch, but it was a really interesting watch of some of the Giants in pro wrestling, and I mean, from Giant Haystacks Calhoun to One Man Gang to Giant Gonzalez to Great Khali. They had them all on there. Andre, of course. What'd you think of that, Jeff? Did you like that?
Yeah, I thought it was real good.
I'd watch it again almost.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you about it, and you were like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I didn't know about it on there, so.
Yeah, it just got put up. Probably 2 or 3 nights ago. I think.
Was it a DVD release? I don't know.
I think it's gonna be, and that was a preview, so it's probably gonna be longer. So there'll be a lot more on the DVD.
Oh, they didn't put it under a preview though, so.
No.
I think that was actually the documentary from a DVD, so I don't know.
It may be.
I just haven't been really paying attention to the DVDs lately. When they launch. The Warrior DVD sneak preview, that looks like it's going to be amazing. I want to get that DVD.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a huge Warrior fan, and man, that looks really good.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of that, Jason?
I've seen previews of it, and I'm glad they're coming out with a better one than what they put out before, where they pretty much...
Oh, I have that. It's the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. I've let Jeff actually watch that, and I mean, they couldn't have bashed the guy anymore. It's kind of ridiculous that they did bash him so much, and now they're acting like he's so great. I mean, come on.
Like Ted DiBiase and freaking Sergeant Slaughter just trashed him bad.
Ted DiBiase really can go to hell with his comments. Yeah. I mean, come on. I don't care if he even hears it, but I mean, come on, dude. You talked shit till the guy died. I mean, I hope he feels good about it.
He'd never be near as big a star.
He's not the only guy in wrestling, I'm sure, that ever, thought about money over fucking the sport, So it's like, if I was wrestling, I'd be, who doesn't wrestle to make money when you get up there? You know what I mean?
It's just, back in the day.
It's just like any other pro sport. When you get up there, sometimes guys get all about money. You know what I mean? And it's just the way it is. Money takes over people sometimes. And Warrior even said, he was just a different person back then. He was young.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he didn't love doing what he did. I mean, obviously, he was out there like a freaking bolt of lightning every night, entertaining everybody. I mean, the guy did his work. I never seen him give 10%, No,
he loved the character when he got in.
So, I'm looking forward to seeing that. If you haven't seen the sneak preview, it's on there. The Attitude Era Raw section is great. If you haven't got on there, check out some old Attitude Era Raws. They got quite a few posted up. I'm really...
I could still start going back to Attitude Era, personally.
Say what, Jace?
I think they're going to start going back to the Attitude Era just a little bit.
You think they're going to gain it? We've been wanting that for years, and Steven, he does not like this PG stuff, and that's one of the reasons he's kind of stopped following so much. But you give it a chance that they may do that?
Yeah, not to the full extent that they did, but I think they'll come back a little bit.
I've always had the assumption, since they're publicly traded and they've got to worry, they just got to please everybody now.
Yeah,
and they can't get too crazy, it seems like, now. And when they do, even when they had Brock bleeding, I think people were questioning them that had stock in the company and everything. Like, what direction are you guys going? What are you doing here?
But like Jason said, they almost need to a little bit, or else, it's going to get
That's
worse.
where a network show would come in good, where they could make it not PG.
Well, I think that's the network. They're putting a lot more kind of non-PG stuff on there.
Yeah. And on a final note on the network, Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling was added. I remember watching that as a kid. But I doubt I'll watch it on the network. So, if you want to watch Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, brother, go to the network, brother. If you want something to go to sleep to, brother, I got Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling on the network. Oh, Jesus.
I watched the first episode last night on YouTube.
What?
Everybody else is going on the network. I just went on YouTube and watched it.
Watched what?
Rockin' Wrestling.
Oh,
Hulk Hogan Wrestling.
Oh, do you watch it still?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Do you think it's funny, or do you like watching it?
I just watched the first episode last night.
Yeah, it's kind of corny. I remember.
It is corny.
I remember watching it when I was a kid.
Memory.
Yeah, I remember watching it when I was a kid. Who was all on there? Like Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik, Nikolai, Fuji, Big John Studd,
Piper, Junkyard Dog,
Hillbilly Jim,
Snuka.
Santana.
Snuka, right? Was Jimmy Snuka on there?
Not on the first episode.
Maybe he wasn't on there. I don't know. I just remember quite a few of them. I remember Piper and Junkyard Dog vividly.
Yeah.
God, that show. Rockin' Wrestling. That was the Rockin' Wrestling era. Okay, so that was some network notes if you watch the network. Anybody got a match recommendation on the network? Something to go back and watch for any listeners? Something cool?
I think what I watched lately. I can't think of it right now. Not off the top of my head right now, I can't.
I really don't either. I'm just gonna say.
I say Orton and Benoit from SummerSlam when Orton won the first.
I was gonna say something from SummerSlam. So yeah, Orton and Benoit. When Orton won the title from Benoit that first SummerSlam, what was that? 2004. That was a great match, dude. Yeah, go back and watch that. That was like the beginning of the Orton era right there.
Yeah.
Good call, Jason. Good call. Orton versus Benoit. Don't be offended to watch Benoit because his work was good. I mean, no matter what he did, you know, he still did a good in-ring work. I don't see him ever getting into the Hall of Fame or anything, but the guy's ring work needs to be acknowledged, in my opinion. So,
personally, I think he'll be in it years down the road. I mean, not within the next 5 years. I say within the next 10 years, he'll be in it.
That's an interesting quote there. So some more news, guys, want to get on to? How about Dana Brooke debuting in NXT last week? Well, her first appearance since it's taped. Did you guys see Dana Brooke?
Yes, I sure did.
I think she'll be pretty good star for him on the roster. She needs to work on her ability a little bit, in my opinion, but the looks and the athleticism, everything's there.
Yeah, I mean, I think she looks like she's going to pick it up pretty easy.
Jason, have you checked her out yet?
No, I'm going to check it out tonight.
Yeah, Dana Brooke, she looked pretty good out there as far as ability and look and athleticism, but it just seems like she needs to sharpen up on her in-ring skills a bit. Maybe you can tell us next week what you thought.
Her looks are good.
I see her coming to the main roster soon for sure, if she can pick it up.
Yeah.
Couple notes about that we didn't ever mention about WrestleMania. Dana said that they weren't ever close at all to signing Lesnar. I reported. I don't know if we ever reported that.
I don't think we did.
And Rock reportedly talked Dana White into having Ronda Rousey show up at Mania. So it was all on the Rock. So anything on that you guys want to note?
A lot of it for next year's Mania is going to depend on if they can work out UFC.
What's your UFC notes for today, Jeff?
My UFC notes for today?
Yeah.
Well, we got the pay-per-view coming up. Of course, Kimbo and Shamrock Lashley's on the card.
Oh, that'll be cool. Yeah, we might even get tickets to go to that.
Yeah, and like I said, I know a couple guys that know Lashley if they're there, so that'd be cool. But
anything else
I've
going on?
seen something on Anderson Silva where he's a coach, I think, on the new episode, The Ultimate Fighter, the new season, and he announced to the team that he just failed his drug test.
Wow.
I put it up on the page. There's a link to the video.
I always like to get Jeff's UFC opinions on here because he follows that pretty close. I didn't really read anything else going on. Jason, do you have anything on UFC or anything? MMA?
Before we went on the air, I seen where Rampage is fighting Saturday.
Oh, wow.
He's clear to fight Saturday.
Where's he going to fight?
I can't remember on the next UFC pay-per-view.
Okay, he's fighting on the next pay-per-view?
I seen him probably about an hour and a half ago.
Well, that's cool. I'm a big Rampage fan.
He was signed. They had signed him, re-signed him.
Yeah, I knew he was signed. We actually announced that, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if...
With the sport thing, I guess it was sustained or something. And I didn't read it all the way through, but I seen where he was fighting Saturday. But I can't remember who the set of his opponent was.
Oh, well, that's cool.
I wonder if somebody dropped out or got injured or something. And he stepped in. Oh, if we check that out.
That's interesting.
I just seen the headline to it. I didn't really read it fully, but the way it headlined, it sounded like he was actually fighting Saturday.
That'd be cool. We'll check it out after we get off here.
Oh, yeah. What's the results from that last UFC? We had Van Zant win. We had Rockhold win.
Yeah.
So, any other big things coming out of that, you think?
Yeah, great. I actually called the second round Rockhold.
That's cool. I thought Machida...
Called the TKO, not a submission.
I thought Machida had a chance, but I guess not.
Rockhold's good. I mean, people don't really know him because he was in Strikeforce.
Yeah, I don't know him. Like I told you, I have no idea who he is.
He's big, too, for middleweight. Him and Weidman would be a hell of a fight.
All right. Well, back on to the wrestling notes, because I don't really have anything else about MMA wrote down today. Pretty slow week in MMA, really.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much.
Did you guys hear about Orton berating fans at the airport, reportedly? Which we can almost say that we know Orton's not that bad of a guy because Jeff has his own experience himself where he met him in the airport. We even talked about it on here.
Yeah.
So I think he was just, he's frustrated coming off the plane, didn't want to be bothered. I mean, come on. What do you think about that, Jace?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long flight. I mean, fans don't understand whenever they go on the overseas tours, I mean, they don't get much, whenever they leave, there ain't much sleep on the planes coming back and stuff. So,
fans need to be more respectful to the guys.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, when they were getting mobbed like that, getting off that flight, I'd be a little irritated too.
Right. I mean,
there's going to be fans waiting there at the airport because you get these internet guys that want to find out exactly where they're flying in at. And, well, we got to make sure we're there so we can get their picture and try to make up a story about them.
Right. Okay, going on from that, have you guys heard the rumor about Adrian Neville possibly being shoved to the top, fast-tracked, rushed, whatever you want to call it? I guess WWE's officials are really high on Neville right now, so that's maybe a reason they kept him off the show, and maybe after Extreme Rules he'll get a larger role. What's your guys' overall opinion on Neville? I think he's really, really small, but he does some fantastic things and can put on some hella matches, so
yeah,
he could be a Rey Mysterio type giant killer.
Could be. He's one of those guys, though, like we were talking about in that cruiserweight division.
I think they could have kind of slowly brought him in, though, and not rushed him right to the top. I guess he has been in NXT for years, though, so...
Yeah, I mean, he's got plenty of experience now, so I don't think that'll be an issue, really.
Okay. Well, going on from Neville, some TNA news. Actually, Matt Hardy was quoted saying that TNA was on the right track, he thought, actually. I mean, that's real laughable. How are they on the right track? TNA also possibly launching a huge international tour next month. And guess where they're starting out, guys?
China or something?
China. I mean, come on now, man. China, they have a huge wrestling... Do they have... Jason, you might know this. Is China a big market in wrestling? I mean...
Not really China. I mean, it's more Japan.
That's what I thought. I mean, so TNA starting in dates in... They're going to start with dates in China.
I read somewhere where there's a lot of wrestlers from China that are wanting to start coming over and stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe it's starting to pick up there.
And also, TNA released Taz and Sonata, and Jeff, I believe you have a little more on that?
Yeah, the one on Taz, I couldn't find anything on Sonata, but Taz, they actually didn't, he asked for his release.
Yeah, because we reported last week it seemed like he was fed up and done.
Yeah, that's what, and then there was rumors something about him and Josh Matthews got into it. There was one that he got fired, but he said no, basically just, they had a mutual agreement that he was done, basically because, he wasn't getting his checks on time, and he said he wants to just move on and do different things, so.
Oh, well, maybe Taz come back to WWE and do some...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. He meant different things, and he also said that he mentioned something about he has a meeting up in New York this week, so...
Oh, so TNA or Taz possibly coming back to WWE. Wow.
Yeah.
I see him going back to SmackDown.
I see it too.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a great idea. As we reported earlier, Rollins used the new finisher because I guess the WWE has made Rollins drop the curb stomp due to fear of head injuries on someone. And as we noted, he did use a new move on Raw, and they have actually banned the curb stomp as a move for anyone. Any thoughts on that, guys? I almost seen it coming. I thought the name alone was not PG enough, but they actually didn't ban it due to the name. They banned it due to a fear of head injury. So.
Right. Yeah, I can see it.
It's strange on a top guy. They're going to let him get the belt and then ban his move.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to do the Phoenix Splash or if he's going to use that modified DDT then.
Yeah, I think that's going to be what he's going to use, is that modified move that he used. Jason, any comments on that?
Yeah, I didn't really see the move. Like I said, the match was...
Well, what do you think about banning the curb stomp?
I mean, I got different opinions about it. I mean, what's the difference between the curb stomp and somebody doing a DDT or doing a super kick?
I don't know. I guess they think there's too much risk for error the way he does it. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's a possibility.
Too much room for error, I should have said.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like the curb stomp anyway, so go ahead and change it, in my opinion.
Jumped on Brock's head too much, and Brock got pissed.
Maybe Brock's the one's like, you gotta change that. He needs to change that goddamn move. I'm gonna take him to Suplex City, bitch. Okay, anyway. JR possibly working with the WWE Network, he says, on content for him. And also, he is going to be at the NXT tapings this week. So JR getting back in the fold with WWE, I think that's a good deal.
Yeah. I think he's sorely missed there.
Yeah, I think he needs to be there in some capacity. Jeff, anything on that?
Knowledge.
Yeah, he does have a lot of knowledge to offer, and and probably the greatest announcer ever. I mean, really.
Man, talent.
They say Gordon Soley, but I think Jim Ross has him.
What's that?
They say Gordon Soley, but I think Jim Ross has him.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim Ross is pretty much the new era of Gordon Soley.
Yeah, I think he has him, though. I mean, Gordon Soley was kind of monotone in the way he called the action. So, Jim just had so much excitement and took it to another level.
Yeah.
So, good old JR. I hope he gets back in there. Jeff, what are you saying?
Oh, I just read some notes right before I got on. I seen he was talking about Kane, his segment. He thought it was alright. He was just talking about how, basically, kind of, underrated Kane is, underappreciated, basically.
Oh, man, I don't agree.
But he's talking about he's going to be he's basically a real good mentor for a lot of the younger guys.
Well, yeah, but, geez, he don't need to be the main focus on storylines.
No, that's what I don't agree with that on there. Like I said, I always said he could help a lot of the bigger guys.
Oh, yeah, he needs to be more of a trainer, a mentor, yeah. But they don't do that with him. They has a authority role on him. Come on.
And then Jared talked about the finishers again. How people kick out about
That's
anything.
That's getting ridiculous, dude. These 4 to 5.
Well, this is what he said. He said they bastardized the DDT. He said it could still been a good finish, but
yeah, everybody in the world does it now, so it doesn't make it a finish anymore when everybody in the world does the DDT. Like,
right.
I hear what he's saying. I agree with Jim there. Like I always say, good old JR got good opinions, but Kane, he can go anytime.
Yeah.
Anyway, going on from that, Global Force Wrestling announced their Grand Slam Tour dates officially. What do you guys think of that? You think they're going to even get a roster together to be able to tour? I guess they must be. I mean, we did announce that they were taking those offers from indie wrestlers, so trying to make offers towards them. So they announced the Grand Slam Tour, so we'll see what happens there. Chris Jericho's podcast after SmackDown Thursday, April 30th with Stephanie McMahon ought to be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore Wrestling signed a deal with Fight Network. I think that's a good deal. Anytime they get another show on TV is good.
Yeah.
So the House, I've never really watched House of Hardcore, but I guess I'd check it out if I had the Fight Network. So if you guys got anything to say about this while I'm reading, just jump in.
RH New Japan.
Go ahead. Say what?
Well, I say go ahead, Jason.
Well, I was just going to say, I watched some matches on YouTube from Tommy Dreamer's promotion. I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, they have had some old ECW guys on there. And
I haven't seen it yet. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check it out, too, now that they're on. But getting picked up on Fight Network, I mean, don't you guys agree? That's a pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of shocking to me that they got a cable deal, really. But like I said, ROH and stuff needs to get they need a better TV deal.
I read that ROH and New Japan joining up
to do a show, or
I guess I don't know, but
or just
they're going on coming up soon. I'm not sure it's on their pay-per-view or not, but they got some promotion coming up soon.
Oh yeah, they've done promotions here in the past, cross-promotion pay-per-views, so that must be what it is. I haven't read that.
Jim Ross did mention that name. The wrestlers.
Yeah, I seen the card of it, and it looked like a pretty decent show that they're doing.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I always enjoy Ring of Honor.
Say Shinsuke Nakamura. He's claiming he's one of the best wrestlers in the world right now.
For New Japan?
Yeah, I'm gonna check him out. I haven't really seen much on him.
Yeah, on Axis TV they have New Japan now.
I don't get that. I used to get it because I used to watch Boss Rootin' on there.
Jim Ross said it's really good, so
I have to check that out.
He likes watching it. I need to check it out too. Did you know that, Jason?
What's that?
Access TV has New Japan.
Oh, no. Well, I've seen maybe on Facebook or somewhere that somebody's been watching it.
So I'd like to check that out, though. I'm for any wrestling product getting on TV because it gives guys more of a chance to work. So,
watching matches, have you watching matches from Japan?
Yeah, I love the matches from Japan. They're so stiff, and they take it realistic over there. They take it serious.
The crowds are just quiet and respectful.
Oh yeah, they clap during the high spots and they're quiet during the rest.
Yeah.
If nobody's ever watched a Japanese match, go back and watch some Japanese New Japan footage, and you'll see how the Japanese crowd is with any match you type in.
Even in Pride, they were like that.
Yeah, even in MMA, they're kind of like that too. So some other notes is, they are unknown how long that the Reigns and Big Show feud will go for, but his next feud's going to be with, oh my God, it's going to be with Kane, guys.
Oh God.
So we got something to look forward to there.
Yippee!
Any comments on that?
No.
JBL took a shot at catering on Raw. I never really caught that, but they said it was due to WWE cutting back on the catering budget. I found that kind of funny.
I heard him say after Orton RKO'd Slater back there.
Yeah, so go back and take a look at that. I guess he took a shot at catering.
Yeah, he said the catering wasn't good anyway or something.
A couple more. I've seen Bret Hart had an interview on Title Match Wrestling. If you go check it out on YouTube, I think they have the video. It's the latest edition. He praised Kid and Cesaro as a tag team, and he also said the Divas just don't get enough attention. And he talked a lot more, too, so I thought that was interesting for Hitman to talk about the Divas and Kid and Cesaro.
He's been about the Divas for a while, saying they need to put them on more.
And I really do think so. I mean, they need a little bit more time than they get to show what they can do. Because obviously in NXT, when they get the time, they do really good. So
yeah.
And then the other two rumors I have, the last two, is the last rumor I have is I guess WWE's been talking to HBK about returning in-ring capacity some way.
So I read something on that real quick.
Go ahead, because I'm pretty much done with notes after that. So
I just think they should have him and Sting.
I really do think they should have him and Sting.
Icon.
Right. So that's the last of my notes I have, guys. So if anything else, that'll be the end.
I just have the Bobby's Brain Heenan update.
Oh yeah, what's the update on the Brain? We said we were going to give an update on him, and I had Jeff check it out. So what do you got?
He's supposed to be better. I wasn't sure what he had surgery on, but apparently he fell and broke his hip.
Oh.
And had to go in and get surgery on the hip.
So that's what it was, because we didn't even know what the surgery was on, but I'm glad he's doing better.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good.
Oh yeah, and there's 4 birthdays today that I got to give a shout out to. We got Axel Rotten turning 44, Jay Lethal turning 30 today. Brutus the Barber 58, and then as we announced, your favorite wrestler Jeff Orlando Jordan 41.
Hell yeah!
So 4 birthdays. Happy birthday to all of them. Let's get Jordan back in there as the new Rico Constantino.
Oh, God, he's going to show up.
I want to thank everybody out there. If you don't have any more, Jeff.
No, I'm done.
Jason, anything to add before we shout it out here at the end?
Yeah, we was talking about the matches and all that. I want to say go back, and I want to say it was 86, maybe, 85. Great American Bash with Nikita Koloff and Magnum TA in a Russian chain match.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, coming up for Fastlane. That'd be perfect. So there's, 3 different matches we've recommended in the show?
That would be a good match to watch.
So I want to say sorry to anybody who, this was probably a pretty lengthy show, but, we had a lot to get in, a lot of notes. We wanted to get our predictions in. It was a long Raw to talk about, so sorry to anybody who thought it was too long, but, we try to get it within an hour, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. But Jeff and Jason, I thank both of you guys for getting on this week, and I hope you guys get on here for the recap show.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be joined by C-Dub from Chronocord Wrestling, Pro Wrestling, and we will also be joined by Stephen Lane, who's another co-host on here, as well as most people know.
The Brock Lesnar of the show. The
Brock Lesnar of the show. So shout out to the Brock of the show. He just works when he wants. No hate though, Steven. You're getting paid a lot for it. So anyway, This has been episode 23, episode 24. Yeah, that'll be our Extreme Rules recap and the aftermath on Raw. We'll see everybody next week. I'm going to say peace out. Till next time, guys.
Peace. We'll see you.
Later, guys.
Later.
Later.